Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing fine tonight, that you're feeling well, and you're ready to look at some crafting. This is Cindy from Cindy's Creative Cards, and it is February the 15th, 2023, and we're in my craft room getting ready to do a mini album using envelopes. Now, I know there are a lot of albums out there with envelopes. But this is one that I saw just recently done by Helen Griffin. And I had not seen this version before, so I thought I would share it with you. If you look down here, you'll see, if you can, I don't know if you can see that right. Yes, you can see. I have two sizes of envelopes. This is the size that we normally use, which is 4 5/8 by 6.5 maybe. I can never remember quite what the measurement is. It's not 6.5, it's 5 3/4 by 4 3/8. So this is the size that we normally put the cards in that we do. However, today I was cleaning up in my craft room, trying to get things straightened up, which, by the way, I did not. A little hard to do when you're crafting all the time. I found these old envelopes that I had from years gone by, and all the cards had been used, but the envelopes were left. So I thought, what can I do with these? Because this size is weird. It's a weird size. It's not a 5x7. It is actually a 4 7/8 by 6 3/4. Now, that may be a standard size in your world, but in mine, it's not. So I got to thinking about Helen Griffin's envelope album. And so I decided that I would make an album and I would use the Sale-a-Bration Dainty Flowers DSP. I love that DSP. I think it is so pretty. And I have about 3 or 4 packs now. It's called Dainty Flowers, and it has the colors Blushing Bride, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Rich Razzleberry, and Starry Sky. And there are 12 papers, I believe. Yes, 12 papers, 12 by 12. Okay. And this is the first sheet here. Now you can see that I have really used this, and this is a combination actually of 2 packs. But I'm going to give you an idea of some of the papers in here. This is one, this pretty green Old Olive. You have this one, which I think is beautiful. I just love it. I made an album with that, if you remember, using that on the cover. This sheet is quite unusual. I got to turn my clock off. My alarm. It's time for my medicine. Go away. Okay. This is really cool. You can use this to put photos in the center, writing. It could be used for many different things. And on the back, look at this watercolor paper. I think it is gorgeous, and I've used it over and over. Then we have the Fresh Freesia is a big one in this pack. This Fresh Freesia, which I love. And also, again, here you see that with some Rich Razzleberry. Then we have even another wildflower paper. And you can see this one has Starry Sky in it with Rich Razzleberry and Crushed Curry, the Old Olive. And then on the back of that, we have this Petal Pink, which has a wildflower imprint on it. These papers are just so pretty, so dainty, just like the title of them say. So I thought that we would use this again today to create this album. Now, I'm going to show you what I was working on earlier. I've not finished it, but I wanted to show you this was going to be the cover, and then I was going to do some decorating on the inside. And here we have all of these pages. I haven't stuck it all down yet. And I just mixed and matched the papers in this pack to come up with, I got an extra there. That's the problem. I knew I was missing one. That goes there. And then we have this one on the back. Now, I had pulled out this Fresh Freesia ribbon to run underneath this to tie it with, even though this particular album does not have a binding, but look at the way it will give. Here, let me open this. It gives a little. It has a little bit of give, so you can pack this full of photos, journaling, or whatever you choose to do. Now, I made this with this weird size of paper, envelopes, like I said, but tonight I was going to show you how to do this and put one together using envelopes that we normally use, the size that we normally use. And you use 6 of these envelopes. Now, wait just 1 minute, and I'm going to try to switch this down. There we go. So you will have more of a view. Okay. I have got, and I'm so sorry for the lag. I don't know what's going on with my internet, with StreamYard, but it is not making me happy. Anyway, we have 6 of these envelopes. Now, the difference between this envelope and this envelope is these envelopes had a point like this, the flap. These are straight, but that's great because it won't be easier to put together. So what I wanted to show you first is how this goes together. So you're going to take, let me put this over here out of the way. You're going to take 2 envelopes and you're going to glue these 2 flaps together just like that. So I'm going to take my glue and I'm just going to run glue on it, this flap right here, all the way around. Now this is not, as you can tell, Stampin' Up's envelope. I ran out, so I had to use some that I had in my stash. I love Stampin' Up's envelopes. They are such good quality of paper and just the texture of it. I just love it. But these work in a pinch. Okay, so I put these together like this. Well, you want to make sure that they line up well in the right place, because that will determine if your pages are even. And I didn't get it completely lined up right, so I'm going to slide that down. Okay, now we've got to make sure that this did not stick. Okay, so there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do this with the next 2 sets. So it's easiest for me. People do it differently. And I think Helen Griffin even did hers a little different. Oh, I'm supposed to show you. Do not go to the edge. Come right here. This is what gives it that little bit of give so you can feel it full. And I didn't do it on the other one, but at least we'll have it on these. And I'm going to place this down like this, making sure that it's lined up properly. give it a good rub. And then we have these two in here with that little bit of give. And I got it a little bit stuck right there, but I do want that little bit of give right there. Okay, so I'm going to lay this over here with this one. And then we're going to do this one. I'm going to remember about coming down farther down and coming back up. Okay, I'm going to lay this down. And line it up. I'm all fumbled fingers today. Okay, so now we have these together like that. Okay, now I'm going to show you next how we're going to put these together. Now we are going to be using basic white cardstock, and we're going to cut it this in half and score it just like we normally would if we were making our cards. So it's going to be 5 1/2 right in the middle. I'm going to score it at, well, actually, if I score it at 4 1/4, that's right, it'll be fine. 4 1/4. And I'll tell you what I was thinking in just a second. And I'm going to score this one at 4 1/4. And I'm going to need one more. So I'm going to cut this one. Put this aside for a card later on. And then I'm going to score it. Okay. So now, when I crease this, I want to make sure that I do a good job and get these corners together. Sometimes they just seem to get out of whack when you're cutting. You see my bone folder and all the pretty colors on there. I have used it. I've cleaned it, but it still is stained. All right, we're going to do this one as well. I guess that's the sign of a busy crafter. Okay, and then here. I've got a bit of glue on my finger there. Okay, so there we go. Now, we're going to use this as a page that covers this. So this will go over it like this, and we're going to glue that down. Now, this particular one, as you can see, oh my, oh, I didn't allow for the envelope size. Oh my gracious. Okay. It is going to be then. Let's go back. I want to make sure to do this right. It's going to be in my, okay, and that's a little off. the envelope's off. It's out of whack, let me tell you. So I don't think it really matter. You know what? We're going to go with what we got here. This will be fine. All right, so what we're going to do here is we've got a strip here that I can pull off that's adhesive, and that will help with this. Our pages are going to be, that is not going to look good. Do you see this that's sticking right out right here? We need the larger size, despite me wanting not to have to go through that, but it won't take but a minute to do it. All right, so then I'm going to, this measures the correct size. So then I'm going to measure it this way. These envelopes are not exactly straight. It is very hard to find envelopes that are actually put together where they're the same size. So now I'm going to score this right here. All right, there we go. So it should work out. Let's see if it does. Now that's what you call measuring against what you've already done instead of using a ruler. And sometimes that method's okay, and sometimes it doesn't work out so well. But I'm hoping that this does. At least to get in the first page or two and show you how to finish it up. Okay. Already I can see that measuring it against that, these pages are not going to be squared, I don't think. It sure doesn't want to do it. Okay, so we take this that I've just made, and we're going to put a bead around the inside like this. This is going to stick to this. And then you are going, and you're going to put glue here. This is going to form a pocket once we cut this. Now, on each of these, envelopes, you need to cut your sliver here so you will have your pocket. So I'm going to do that right now on just a sliver. So I can show you. It will be a pocket here, right there. And here's a pocket here. Now we're going to put, I'll go ahead and do this one. Make sure I get the right side, because that is very important, or you will not have pages that you can use. And here is the side that opens. Okay, I got all kinds of strips here. I'm going to get out of the way. All right, now move this back over. And I'm going to take one of these that I've been talking to you about, and I'm going to use this one. But I'm going to measure it first, so I'll have the right measurements for creating 2 more. And it is 8 and I can't see against this black, 8 7/8 by 5 3/4. So I'm going to write this down. 8 7/8 by 5 3/4. All right, so now I'm going to take this and I am going to put glue all around the edge here like this. Just like that. Now on the this outer part, I'm going to put glue. And I'm going to do it here too, because you got to have it on the other side as well. And on the outer part, I'm going to put it, but I am going to run a little bead right here. Okay, so let's take this strip off and this strip off and lift that back up. Okay, so now we're going to lay this one down, line it up, and fold this over like that. And we don't want any glue right here because that's going to serve as the inside of our pocket. Okay, now here's what you've got. You've got a page, this page, which we will be putting DSP over, so this will not be an issue. So DSP will go here. You have a page here, DSP, which will create that page, and then you have a page here. Okay, now let's look at this. So what we did, the same thing. That was the folded over card right there. And then here's the next one. So right here, I don't know if you can see it or not, these two pages are glued together. And that's what we're going to do. This creates a pocket here and a pocket here. So there's plenty of room to put journaling and photos and memorabilia. This thing will hold a lot of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to get this one, but we need to go ahead and do these pages first. So I need to get my white cardstock. Bring this back in, and I'm going to measure 8 7/8. And I'm going to measure 5 and just a tad over 3/4. All right. Then we're going to score. Where's my ruler? We're going to score at 4.5. So I'm going to put it at 4.5. I'm going to fold this. And I'm going to try and make sure that I get it lined up properly. All right, and I'm going to crease it. Both sides. All right, so now there's that one that's done. We're going to do this one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run my bead of glue right along here. I'm going to go around the perimeter and the bottom half. And then I'm going to make sure yep, this is right, to do the other side as well. Here's the perimeter. And that bead right there, and that half. Okay, so now we're going to adhere this to one side. I think I'll try just doing one side this time, and then we'll do the other. So I've lined it up. I've placed this down. Now I'm ready to pull this up. And I'm going to put a little glue on this just to be on the safe side. No. And I'm afraid okay, so now I've got a pocket or page right here. Now, if we look over here, this one does not have a pocket. It just is a page. Okay, so that's what we have here. We have a nice page. And that goes like that. So we've got two of our signatures. Signatures is what it's called. Two of the signatures are done. So we're going to do this one more. And this one was the one that did not fit. Okay, so we're going to create one more, just like this. All right, so I need the DSP. And I am going to cut this eight and 7/8 by 5 3/4. And then I'm going to score it at 4 1/2. And we are ready to fold. Crease. I don't think 4 1/2 was exactly the right measurement. And varnish. Okay, so now we have our last signature that we need to work with. And I'm going to run my bead right around the perimeter. Put my glue on here. It looks like a jumbled up mess the way I am gluing, but it works best if you just go all around. All right, so now we're going to pull this off. Let me slide this over so you can see what I'm doing. Pull this strip off. I'm going to lay this down and fold this over just like that. And I'm going to take this off and we're going to lay this down like that. And there we have it. All right, now we've got one, we've got two, and we have three. Now what we do now is we take this and glue it to this. So I'm going to, once again, just be running the glue around the outer perimeter like this, because we don't want it to go all the way to that edge, because we do want it to have a little give, so we can put lots of things inside. Okay, so this one, we're lining it up just like this. And we're gluing it together just like that. All right. Now, we have a pocket on this side, and we're going to have a pocket on this side. All right. Now, I'm going to put a little more glue right here. I made it come apart when I was showing you. All right. So now we have this one. We have that. We have this one and that. So now we're ready to glue this one on. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Can just never remember about that. It's a shame you can't see all these pretty designs on here. Oops. I love paper. I don't know if there's anything I love any more than seeing all the patterns and the paper just coordinate and go together. It's just so satisfying. And that's what I love about these paper packs. And plus, they are just so easy to work with. Okay, so now I've got to do this. Put it right down like that. And that should be together fairly well with our expansion. You can see now we've got the expansion here. Okay, very good. So now we're ready to start putting the DSP on. Now, we're not going to work with the cover right now. I'm going to show you what we're going to do here so you can will know how that's done. And I'll just use this piece right here. I'll cut it down to the proper size. Since this is the paper pack that I am going to be using, I don't know why I'm doing that, because I'm going to be using it just a second. So this is going to be 4 and, let's see, 4. Is that right? Let's measure to make sure. But this will be our normal size that we would, or I'd say 4 by, and this should be 5.5. Okay, so 4 and 5.5. This is actually this, yeah, that will work. Okay, now if you wanted to, it could be made the exact measurement of this envelope, but I like seeing the white around it, So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue this down so it has this border. So now you see we've got this opening here, and that is the part that we are not going to glue because that will be part of our pocket. So I'm going to glue here, and I'm going to leave these, and this will meet with the DSP over here that we're going to be laying down. So we don't want it there. Well, actually, you can put it here, and this would secure it. All right, so now I want this one, and I have got too much glue. And I want to slide it up just a bit because I want it to meet where that comes down. So I'm going to wipe this off, this extra part. I could have made it just a little bit bigger. Okay, let's see. Let me get one of my baby wipes that I like to keep on hand. And if you don't press too hard, you can get this glue off without destroying your DSP. And that's my purpose right here. All right, so now what we should have, we have a pocket. And that part right here is closed up. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's do this one. Now, what you need to do is you need to figure out your papers before you actually start doing it all, because it does have a tendency to get sort of crazy. Okay, I think that this one matches this, so I'm going to do this, and I am going to make this just a tad bigger. This one was a little over 4, so I'm going to make it 4 1/8 by 5 1/2. Okay, 4 1/8 by 5 1/2. And that means I can use the bottom half of this paper later on. So we'll just glue that one. That one will go there. So let's turn our page. And this leads me to think green. So I want to get some of the green. This is the one I'm looking for. I don't know if that'll work or not. That's a little too short. I do like to use my scraps if at all possible. But I don't worry that I may have scraps, because I know I can use this paper in different ways where it will be used up. Okay, so this is 5 1/2. Okay, so we have this wildflower here, this greenery, the fern. So I'm moving from here to here to here, which then leads me to wanting this one. Oh my, I know there have to be some scraps in here. Okay, so we can pull open the scraps and see if there's anything that might work here. Nope, they're all the wrong size. Let's see if I know. And that's going to be, well, I can make that work. So I'm going to lay those two out. This one, yes, that can work. And this one, now what was on this side? Okay, that was the tiny one, so that could definitely be used. This one can be used. Oh, isn't that pretty? Here's another one. These are all the wildflowers. What I want is this one. And I think, yep, we can make that work. So I'm going to slide all this over here. And I'm going to make sure that this is 4 1/8. And we're going to glue that right there. Okay, so I'm going to lay this to the side. Now, I'm going to put my glue on this. Right along here. I don't want to get it on that other page, so, you know, these envelopes are a little wacky. I'm going to put my glue all around here. And you remember I did not put glue in this space because we don't want to glue this down. It's going to be our pocket page. And I've got all this extra glue I don't need because I use these papers were a little bit. Okay, slide over. We need you to go over just a tad. This is the beauty of using the glue. You got some wiggle room. Okay, I'm going to slide this back just a tad. There we go. Now, this, I'm going to have to add a little more glue in there. Like that. All right, so now we have created another pocket. And we have 2 of those now. Now, if you do have any excess glue, once it dries, this gum eraser, I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but it will get the glue off. So if you look in your art supplies and look for, I think it's gum, it will get that off. All right, so now we have that pocket, a pocket there, and we have the pocket here. Except we've got to do something here. So this, I think we have this and this. This leads me to, let's say this one. And I'm going to cut this 4 1/8. And it's going to be 5 1/2. Okay, and that closes up this pocket. Now, this one is just hanging out for right now. And I'm going to put glue on this one. I'm not going to go over quite so far. I go around the perimeters first, and I have a feeling that's a little bit too close. Right here. Okay, and here I keep forgetting that I'm leaving this border. And then I'm going to put glue on this, here, and right here. Okay, so now I'm going to put this down. Like that. Okay, now I think you see what we're doing here. Now we have this pocket. Now, and so then I would need to do that again for this page, this side and this side, and then it would be complete. I could go in and I could glue all this down, but it will take a while to do that. But what I want to show you is that you can now put down the outside, and then you can decorate this just like you would decorate a card. Embellishments on the outside, but on the inside you would not do that because it would cause too much bulk. However, before you put this down, you would need to put down a ribbon, or if you wanted a magnetic closure, you would need to put your magnet right under here, and you could put a strip that goes over. I'll show you what I mean when I say that. This is one that I just made, and I just have fallen in love with it. It's from Retired DSP Paper Blooms, and I think that actually was a celebration item. I would love it if they bring this back because I just think it's gorgeous. But anyway, here is this album. This is what I'm talking about. You can put a magnet up underneath the paper. Then you put a strip. This one just absolutely runs around, but I have done it where it just starts maybe a fourth of the way over. And you put your magnet in here and you fold this back over it. And now you have a magnetic closure, and it will hold your album together. You can do it that way, or you can use the ribbon. The ribbon, you would want to make sure, and I'm using the Fresh Freesia ribbon here. Well, come on, come off. I know I've used you. You would want to leave enough room for tying and excess room, and you can always clip that off. I know you don't want to use it unnecessarily, but you would glue it down, and it would run all the way across like this, and you'd cut it at the same length, and you'd glue this down. Now, I would not glue here. I'd just glue here. Now, the glue would probably show, but you're going to be covering it up like this and then decorating. So you'll never see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this, and then I will put it, a picture, an image up on YouTube. And I also will have it probably in my online store. So you can check it out there to see how I finished it. All right, that's it for tonight. I thank you so much for being with me. Let me see if I can get my face back up here. And that again is medicine. Okay, shift 1. Okay. Here I am. Okay. This is not hard to make. It's just a few things you have to remember, and it can turn into a gorgeous album that can be a gift or even one you want to keep yourself. Be perfect for an outing, for a special event. Like this would be great for Mother's Day, or it would be great for a birthday, a lady's birthday, or a girl's birthday, even. And what I like to do is while I am at the event is to take pictures, and I have the little one little zinc um, printer that prints off 3x4, I think it is 2x4 size pictures, and then I have another that's 4x6, and I like to take them with me when I go, and then take pictures of the event, print them out, put them in the album, and then gift it to the birthday person. And that is just such a wonderful gift to have um, after you've had a special day. Um, how much better can it get? I don't know what just happened there, but okay. I appreciate you being here. I hope that you have learned something and that you will make one too. I'd love to see them. Give me a comment if you plan to make one, and tell me, what color will your envelopes be? I thank you so much. Remember that Sale-a-Bration continues through the end of this month, and you can get this DSP with a $50 purchase. It is a free gift. Also, they have more Sale-a-Bration items that they've just added, and some of them are pretty cool. So check those out, and make sure that you will get the items that you need before they get sold out. If you do not have a demonstrator and you would like one, I would truly be honored if I could be your demonstrator. I would help you in every way that I possibly can. I love to spoil my team members and my customers. So come back next Wednesday this time. Hopefully I won't have technological difficulties and I'll be on time. But I would truly like to see you here and chat with you in the chat room as I work. It would be so much fun and such an honor to have you with me. So until I see you again, dream, create, and share, and visit my website, cindyscreativecards.com. There's a lot of inspiration there, tutorials and videos. Check it out. Announcements about what's coming up with Stampin' Up. And if you would like to be on my email list so I can make sure that you are getting all the latest news, please sign up for that too. Until I see you again, bye-bye.